Hi, I'm Allie with the Sacramento History Museum, and today we are at the Historic Old City Cemetery looking at the Ray family plot. Nelson Ray was born in 1820 in Kentucky, and he is believed to have been orphaned at a young age. He was then sold to the family of John and Belinda Ray, who lived in Missouri. Belinda took a particular liking to him, so in her will she made a condition that upon her passing, Nelson would be freed. Unfortunately, she did not make the same condition for his wife and children. So when she did pass, he was able to come to California, but he had to leave his wife and children behind. He came out to Placerville, and he was a very successful gold miner. In fact, in about a year, he was so successful he was able to return to Missouri, and he hoped he had enough gold to purchase his wife and 8 children. Once he got to Missouri, however, he found that the slave trade had split up his family. He was able to purchase the freedom of his wife Lucinda and that of 3 of his children for the sum of $3,700, but he didn't know where his other children had ended up. In 1854, he returned on a wagon train to Placerville to continue life in the gold fields and as a blacksmith, but he never gave up hope of finding his other children. Nelson Ray continued to be successful in Placerville. He owned many rental properties which provided him income, and he worked as a handyman, blacksmith, and carpenter. He also started an all-black church. By pure luck, one day someone came up to him and told him that they had seen a man who looked just like him in Sacramento. Nelson's interest was piqued, and soon he was able to find one of his long-lost sons. And eventually, the entire family was reunited, as many of the children had been living in Texas under slavery there. Luckily, in California, they were all able to be free, and they lived a very rich life. This story was almost lost to history, but thanks to one of the descendants, Thelma Gibson Radin, the story has continued, and she was instrumental in creating the Ray family plot that we see here. One of my favorite things about the plot is a quote at the bottom. "Do not deny what your senses tell you. The color of skin and hair, the slant of eyes and differences in culture, but find in that person the good qualities that you and they have in common, and then work for the betterment of humanity." And I think that's a very inspiring quote that reminds us, even in today's age, how we should be as a whole people, acknowledging each other's differences, but working together.